What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad you're here. On today's episode, we got a very good deck for you. That's right. Or shall I say, we'll be the judge of that by the end of this. That's right. This deck had a very big launch, and I do mean literally. That's right. I'm talking about the Nobody Knows deck by Nobody Knows. Yeah. Anyway, buckle your seatbelts. We're going there. Let's go. The Nobody Knows playing cards by Rory Adams and Chris James is the first deck release by the same team that brought you the very popular Turner Watch. That's right. To commemorate this deck release, they made this huge announcement of this huge launch. And well, that's all it turned out to be, was a launch of this deck and it being sent into space. The tuck box is this really nice all black soft matte tuck box. It's going to have a medium-ish size poker border that is all white and wraps around the edge line of the tuck, and it's going to say Nobody Knows in white. The left and right sides of the tuck box are going to have NK, which is the Nobody Knows logo. The bottom of the tuck box is going to feature some ad copy. It's going to have the Nobody Knows logo there on the right side. The back side of the tuck box is going to be all black also. It's going to say One Ways in a kind of medium-sized font there. It's going to say Crush Stock Blackout, which I'm assuming is the first kind of version of this deck. It's going to say 99 grams, 52 cards, and 2 jokers. The upper part of the tuck itself is going to have this kind of debossed NK Nobody Knows logo. On the inner flap, there's going to be no tuck seal, and it's going to have the Nobody Knows words again in white on the inside. This deck does come printed by the United States Playing Card Company on their crushed premium stock. It does have a traditional cut and an air cushion emboss. This was a limited edition run of only 3,000 decks printed, and it comes in a Mnemonica stack. The back design of this deck is what we saw on the front side of the tuck box earlier. It's going to be all black bodied, and it's going to say Nobody Knows in that same kind of white font lettering. And it's going to have a super thin poker border around the edge lines, making fans and things look really unique. With this deck, you're going to receive a couple extra cards, nothing too crazy. Actually, this is the first deck in a while that hasn't contained any kind of real extra cards or gaffs or anything like that. So you're going to receive 2 duplicate and original jokers. That's right, it's going to have the NK logo on each of the coinciding corners, and it's going to say Joker there in the center. The other thing you're going to receive, and I can't call it a card because it's not, that's right, it's actually a sticker. That's right, a sticker. It's really cool because this is the first time I've ever seen somebody do this to where the sticker didn't come with the deck. The sticker was actually inside the deck with it sealed. So I don't know how they achieved this, but that was one really cool touch that I hope to see in the future with more releases. The pips and indices in this deck are your complete industry standard. Same thing goes for the court cards. They are also your industry standard courts. The only subtle difference is where the blue usually is in the clothing is now replaced with black. The aces in this deck are also nothing fancy and still that standard look we all love until you get to the Ace of Spades, which is a enlarged spade pip there in the center. It's going to say One Ways there also because this is the One Ways edition deck, and it's going to say Ace of Spades underneath. Alright, so you want to know my final thoughts on this deck. I give it a 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. That's it. That's all it gets. Nothing else. Nothing more. That's for sure. It's badly executed. Laziness. It's thrown together. It's not what it was supposed to be. You know, they made it seem like this extravagant launch and big things were happening come this date and blah blah blah, and it came and everybody was let down. Everybody except for his influencers, right? His friends. And here's the thing. I just want to get this out of the way. Just a quick disclaimer. I have love for Rory, right? Me and Rory might not see eye to eye. We've had a run-in before. Nothing serious, right? But he's a genius, right? And I've told him this. You're a genius. What he did with the Turner watch is single-handedly probably one of the biggest achievements in Magic. I'm sorry, it is. That product, I don't even own one. Wish I did, never will, too expensive. But the point is, it's an amazing achievement. And what he did with that watch is out of this world. And I cannot take that away from him, and nobody can, right? I would defend it if that happened, right? That's how strongly I feel about that product. And like I said, I don't even have it. But the point is, with that genius mind that he has, he could have went in so many directions with this launch instead of just launching it into space, literally. That's what this is about. If you guys missed it, just to catch you up real quick, they announced a date. Oh, this huge launch is going to happen, blah, 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 and they literally did. They launched the deck into space. That's it. Elon Musk put a car in space. Like, boo-hoo, frickety-hoo. It's nothing crazy, right? The point of this is, he could have did a marked deck. He could have did so many cool things, hidden features. He could have did something that nobody's ever done with a deck of cards. What that is, I don't know, but I'm sure he could figure it out. He has the mind to do that. He's a brilliant person, right? And like I said, I cannot take that away from him no matter what. This, though, is less than subpar. I mean, it's terrible. Not to mention, it looks like a knockoff Dan and Dave Anyone Worldwide Mirrors deck. I mean, honest to God, look at this. If you mean to tell me that's not the exact same deck, look at this. In the front, look at that. The back, look, the back. See that? Almost the same exact font, almost, right? Got the logos on the side, right? Logos on the side. Even the ad copy at the bottom. I mean, look at that. That is just, it's crazy. So, I mean, man, it's so bad. Even the cards resemble each other, right? But here's the thing, right? At the end of the day, like I said, 2 out of 5. It is what it is. It's not worth $19 per deck. I mean, to the US. I paid almost $20 for one deck because he also charges almost $8 for shipping. That's the other thing. It's $4 to ship from California. I know this because I got friends that ship to me from California, and it's like $3-4. Just saying. And the other thing that's a little bit confusing is the fact that they claim that, well, first off, the website itself is kind of misled. It says One Tree Planted per deck produced. If a deck is produced, usually doesn't that mean you're tearing down trees? I mean, you're making it. Producing means creating, making. Don't you mean every deck sold is One Tree Planted, like Chris Orbit did with the Forest deck and so forth? And if that's the case, how come your website doesn't have none of the, you know, the ordinance numbers and things like that for, you know, the nonprofit and whatever? Kind of like Chris did. If you go to the website right now and look at under the Forest deck, it has everything under there. You know, how he dealt with One Tree Planted and everything like that. There's nothing like that. There's no details. How do we know that's what's happening, right? And I'm not saying he's that type of person, but with a lot of different scams nowadays and things on Kickstarter and everything else going on, it's hard to trust anybody, right? So that's all. Those are my biggest things. One-way back design, not a fan of it. You know, I don't know, just badly executed. So maybe next time, right? Maybe next time. So that's all I can say about this deck. I'll link everything down below where you guys go and check these out just in case you feel like you want to get your hands on them. I don't know. I'm against it. I'm just saying. But that's up to you. That's for you to decide. So that's all I'm going to say about this deck. If you guys enjoyed this review, you know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you beautiful people on the next one.